All right, the term soul food, of course, is practically synonymous with Black America. In fact, we can all name some favorite recipes and foods. Chitlins for me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
love chitlins.
This morning, Brooke Thomas shows us how African Americans are prioritizing health and wellness while still embracing Black culture.
Tony, that is blackety black. That
Okay.
is, listen.
Down home, all the way.
I can't beat that. You know, the history of soul food, it's rooted in survival. Enslaved Africans in the South took the scraps they were given and they made it good. That same survival, a different form, of course, is also at the root of efforts to push back against systemic inequities with health habits.
We're a resilient group of individuals, and we don't want to live sicker and die sooner, you know? And so the emphasis on trying to do better has been entrenched throughout our entirety.
Dr. Columbus Batiste is a cardiologist in the Inland Empire. He says Black Americans have always cared about their health. From professional sports to organizations like Black Girls Run and newer trends like trap yoga. He says there's an even more glaring example right now, the rate in which we are seeing Black Americans embrace plant-based eating.
The fastest growing segment of the population that are transforming their diet towards eating healthfully vegan are the African American. It's the African American racial group.
Even so, Black Americans still lead the nation in many negative health outcomes. High blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, heart disease, trailing in life expectancy.
Absolutely, it's systemic. I mean, I wish we could point to one thing. That would make it very simple and easy to target. But when you look at things called social determinants of health and get broader into political determinants of health, that means where you live, where you play, where you pray. All these aspects play a role in terms of the development of disease, and that's really where the problem lies.
He says that connecting dots for nearly every ailment lie in a common factor.
It lies in stress that all Americans face, but people of African descent face another layered stress called racial discrimination, which impacts our body. It impacts the things that have happened that impact the social determinants of health.
Man, that sounds like a burglar prowling around in that park.
Historians point to a centuries-old tradition of denigrating Black Americans through food. You've likely heard the stereotypes of a diet consisting only of fried chicken, pork chops, or barbecue. But Dr. Batiste says the reality, historically and present day, actually shows the opposite.
We look at the West African type of diet that was rich in root vegetables, rich in green leafy vegetables, spices and herbs and those things. And those things carried over. So the greens and the okra, the red beans and the rice, and all those things are extremely beneficial to our body.
Dr. Batiste also says, look, the key here is to continue to embrace those healthy aspects of our lives while working to reduce the things that are harmful to our bodies. That is still very important. He also says, though, no matter what you do on your own, you can't separate the systemic inequities from the overall problem. Tony and Roxy, something that was just so interesting to me was how we know the stereotypes are false. We know they're wrong. They're not rooted in fact. They're rooted in racism. But they hold so strong when the facts are, when he started talking, I was thinking, that's right. Black people, we will make any type of food out of every sort of leafy green vegetable that exists. That is something that is a part of our culture, but that has not been the stereotype that has carried forward. Do you know what I mean? That has not been, and that's so interesting to me, the choices there, why people only hear about fried foods and not the greens that we eat and things like that. So.
Yeah, absolutely.